It's so good to be back here in South Carolina.
Home of the Gamecocks.
Nice feed. Wow. Another fantastic flush by Bryant. Dunked it right on his head.
Look at the ball movement for Carolina. Gosh, that's pretty.
South Carolina leads. Here come the Gamecocks in Columbia, South Carolina.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Gamecock Insider. I'm your host, Derek Scott. 2021 has come in like a lion in Gamecock athletics. The first week featuring lots of news, some good, some bad. We're going to cover a lot of it here on the program today. As we get things started with the Gamecock men's and women's basketball teams, which have already picked up impressive wins at the beginning of SEC play, but also have seen their programs forced to shut down for COVID-related reasons due to a combination of positive tests along with quarantines and contact tracing. So we certainly wish the best in terms of health and welfare to the young men and women along with the coaching staffs of those teams as they deal with all that goes with this situation, as well as the frustration of having their sports taken away from them for the time being. Shane Beamer continues to build his Gamecock football coaching staff, including the naming of a new offensive coordinator, Marcus Satterfield, coming down from Charlotte and the Carolina Panthers of the National Football League. A couple new members of that staff, Pete Limbo and Eric Kimmery, were recently introduced to the media via a Zoom press conference. We'll have some clips from that press conference to give you a chance to get to know those two members of the staff a little bit better as well. And new semester about to get rolling. New members of the Gamecock football program, recently signed recruits, have already moved in on campus. And we'll give you a look behind the scenes of what move-in day is like for those young men. Before we go to our first time out, though, a quick check of the Prisma Health injury update. A.J. Lawson, tremendous game Wednesday night in a win over Texas A&M. Unfortunately, late in the contest, rolled an ankle. Spent all day Thursday getting treatment from the training staff, and again, due to that COVID-related shutdown, he'll have a few days at least to stay off of that ankle and hopefully have the swelling go back down. Prisma Health, the official team physicians of the Gamecocks. Just getting started here on Gamecock Insider, so stay with us.
Gamecock Insider is brought to you by Prisma Health, the official healthcare provider of the Gamecocks.
Today tastes like a home game, like a huddle. Tastes like we're bringing the heat, and like a front row seat. Today tastes like we're a team, and it never tasted this good.
And when the unexpected happens to you, there's Colonial Life. Benefits that help cover what your regular insurance doesn't.
Come on. Let's go.
Come on, let's go in.
Toyotathon is on. 'Tis the season for great year-end deals.
Right now, during Toyotathon, get 0% APR for 48 months plus $500 holiday bonus cash on a new 2021 Toyota RAV4 and 90-day payment deferral.
Don't miss out. Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome back to Gamecock Insider, everyone. Dawn Staley's women's basketball program entered the new year ranked number 5 in the nation. Got SEC play underway with a couple of impressive wins. The Alabama Crimson Tide, the Florida Gators were the first 2 victims of the Gamecocks. Let's take a look at highlights from those 2 victories.
But now, SEC play starts again, and they've got to flip the script. To face the number 5 team in the nation to start SEC play. And they'll do it on South Carolina's home floor. Boston is double teamed down low by the Gators. Faith Dute, along with Christina Moore there. Bree Beal cutting to the basket.
Have so much success in the early part of the non-conference season was getting out and running, scoring in transition. Remember that number 1 recruiting class, freshman class that played last year? All of them are back in their sophomores now, and leading the way is Zaya Cook.
Could she be any more confident right now?
You see Zaya Cook, she delivered the pass, put up the 3-point symbol like, big girl, let it fly, let it go. And Aaliyah Boston knocked it down. I love it from your 6'5" center. Aaliyah Boston has extended her range. Game is going to be fantastic before her career's over as a Gamecock. Okay, big girl. Get used to it, ladies and gentlemen. It is part of her repertoire.
South Carolina is going to pick up where it left off in the SEC last season. Remember, they didn't lose an SEC game last year.
Really excited about this group of coaches that we've been able to retain and hire. I'm certainly thankful to President Caslin, Ray Tanner, our board, and our entire administration for allowing us and giving us the resources to make this happen. It's a group of guys that want to be at South Carolina. They all had other opportunities in the SEC, but chose to stay here or to come here, which I'm really, really excited about and pleased about the group. When I met with Connor Shaw, he sat down in my office, and the first thing I said to him is, under no circumstances am I letting you walk out of this building and not be part of this program. He is everything that's right about South Carolina football, and I was not going to let him walk out that building and go anywhere else, even if that was off campus or on campus, across campus, to work in administration. We've got a few more hires out there, as you guys know, 3 more on the field hires, and then a strength coach, and then all the support staff around those guys as well. Pleased with the progress that we're making there. I've had some really productive conversations with a lot of different guys. Certainly have an idea of the direction those hires are going to go, one way or another, and pleased with where we are on all of them. Nothing's changed since the last time we talked, and there's still a huge amount of interest from people in coming to Carolina, and we're making progress, and hopefully, I want to get that wrapped up sooner than later, but we still have a couple weeks until the players come back to Columbia, when we've got to have all that in place and know that we will by then.
Hey, Shane, just wondering if it came up during the negotiations at all with Eric Kimry, if he gets to call a fade pass on 4th down or anything like that from a backup quarterback.
I was waiting on that one. No, I've heard from many people that have mentioned that, either the podcast or the touchdown and all that. But certainly, if we have the quarterbacks and receivers out there to execute the fade, we will be calling many of them, and we'll certainly let Eric have a huge hand in that as well.
Listen, unbelievably excited, thankful, beyond grateful to have this opportunity to come back to the University of South Carolina, a place that I love and have a lot of passion for. I want to thank our fans. You know, I remember starting at South Carolina under Coach Scott, we won our first game and then we lost 21 in a row. And those fans were in the stands the entire time, whether it was the 10-game losing streak to end that season or the 0-11 season. You know, as I was thinking through what to say, an image came to my mind, which was running out of 2001 for the first time. And the first thing I saw was a guy at the very top of the stadium in the upper east stands just going crazy. And I was like, man, that guy needs to calm down or he's going to fall out of the stadium. And that's the kind of passionate fans that we have. And I appreciate them and we need them. And I want to make sure our players understand that. I know that they do. And so I'm looking forward to that stadium getting filled again and a lot of people going crazy for Sandstorm in 2001 and just a lot of the cheers in that stadium. I remember watching Todd Ellis play football as a young kid. I was in the stadium in '92 when Hank Campbell stuffed Tennessee for the 2-point conversion, watching Steve Tannehill play. So many memories that I have of Williams-Brice Stadium. They mean so much to me. And so the fans mean a lot to me too. And I want to see that passion erupted in that stadium again. And I'm going to do everything on my perspective to try to help and make that happen. And lastly, I want to thank Shane Beamer. Shane and I knew him some when he was here under Coach Spurrier, but we really started a friendship while he started recruiting Hammond at Georgia and at Oklahoma. And I see in him what I think all you guys see, which is a man that's got a lot of integrity and authenticity. He's got passion. He's positive. He means what he says. And I've seen a lot of guys come through recruiting, and I've never seen a guy that carries himself the way that Shane Beamer does. And I've never heard a single person ever say a negative word about him. And that's hard to do in that profession.
It's great to be a part of this press conference today. My family and I are really thankful for this special opportunity. Shane Beamer is a great person. He's sincere, he's humble, he values his family, he builds relationships, and he's absolutely passionate about the University of South Carolina. People think of special teams, they might think about key players or schemes or maybe even the impact of field position. I see my role as much more holistic than that. My job first and foremost is to build a relationship with every player on the roster and every staff member in the complex. You can't develop each player if you don't connect with them first. And it really takes a village to excel on special teams. It's not a one-man show. So I have to create that kind of buy-in every day with my demeanor, my organization, and by installing a simple system that everyone can wrap their arms around. I also want to help prepare our players for life after football and encourage them to make the most of this opportunity on and off the field, and that includes their education. There were a lot of people I crossed paths with that had either gone to school at South Carolina or worked at South Carolina. I actually have some former assistants of mine that have spent time at South Carolina as well. And the thing that resonates with me that is consistent with all of them is their passion and their loyalty to the place. Their genuine excitement about their time there, the relationships that they built while they were there, how much they look forward to going back there and staying connected with all the different people that have worked there. So it's nice to know that people feel so strongly about a place. And now that I'm going to have a chance to be a small part of that is very, very special.
People have the power to make a lasting impact through acts of kindness, compassion, and strength. They inspire us to innovate and educate, to do more than we ever thought possible, to help you be your healthiest you. Prisma Health, inspired by you.
Come on. Let's go.
Come on, let's go in.
Toyotathon is on. 'Tis the season for great year-end deals.
Right now, during Toyotathon, lease a new 2021 Toyota RAV4 LE for just $249 a month for 36 months plus $500 holiday bonus cash.
Don't miss out. Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
And when the unexpected happens to you, there's Colonial Life. Benefits that help cover what your regular insurance doesn't.
Derek Scott back with you on Gamecock Insider. The Carolina men's basketball program, boy, what a turbulent period December was. 5 different games either postponed or outright canceled while the team was shut down for COVID-related reasons. When they finally got back on the court, they only had 9 players in a victory against Florida A&M, trying to work out the kinks before they had to get SEC play started against Texas A&M. Boy, it seemed like a tall task for Frank Martin's squad with a short bench, a lack of practice time, the fact that Texas A&M already had 2 SEC games under their belt. But the game was at Colonial Life Arena, and boy, did the young men in Garnet and Black take advantage of the home court with a very impressive performance, a double-digit win over the Aggies. Here are a look at the highlights.
Go. 1, 2, 3, bam.
Wow, a 5th consecutive win for the Gamecocks over the Texas A&M Aggies, and in very decisive fashion on Wednesday night. Very impressive performance. Coming back with more Gamecock Insider in just a moment from Learfield IMG College.
Today tastes like a home game, like a huddle. Tastes like we're bringing the heat, and like a front row seat. Today tastes like we're a team, and it never tasted this good.
People have the power to make a lasting impact through acts of kindness, compassion, and strength. They inspire us to innovate and educate, to do more than we ever thought possible, to help you be your healthiest you. Prisma Health, inspired by you.
So very Sansbury. It's not just about style and vision. It's about passion. Our passion to make sure that you have the perfect glasses or contact lenses for your look. You know, it's just so very Sansbury. With so many choices and options available, we want to make sure your eyewear looks great and feels great. That's so very Sansbury. So very Sansbury Eye Center.
Good hard work has earned Robbie Epler the title of Colonial Life Academic Athlete of the Week. A member of the swimming and diving team, Epler is a sophomore operations and supply chain major with a 3.716 GPA. This week's academic athlete is brought to you by Colonial Life. Colonial Life, the benefits of good hard work.
His shot is rejected by Jalen McCreary, and in transition, McCreary is going to get a left-handed flush.
That's your Sansbury. Did you see that play? And what a highlight it was for Jalen McCreary. A block shot at one end of the court. He hustles down court, is rewarded on the feed from Trey Hannibal with the big dunk at the other end. Had them on their feet. Certainly had me plenty excited on the broadcast as that play was part of the Gamecocks' big win over Texas A&M. Speaking of which, our Terminix Pest Player of the Week got to be A.J. Lawson. 2 20-plus point performances in the week, including a career-high 30 against the Aggies of Texas A&M, a career-best 10 field goals made. Boy, the junior from Toronto having a great start to his season for South Carolina. Coming back to wrap things up in just a moment here on Gamecock Insider, so stay with us.
Gamecock women's basketball fans, download the Gamecock app and play 3 points the hard way. Brought to you by our friends with the best made-from-scratch biscuits, Hardee's. If the women's basketball team makes 3 3-pointers in a game, you can score a free sausage biscuit at Hardee's tomorrow during breakfast hours. Once we hit our 3 3-pointers, stop by your favorite Hardee's, show them the coupon in the Gamecocks app, and bam, a free biscuit. Get your biscuit at participating Columbia and Spartanburg area Hardee's. Feed your happy.
Today tastes like a home game, like a huddle. Tastes like we're bringing the heat, and like a front row seat. Today tastes like we're a team, and it never tasted this good.
And when the unexpected happens to you, there's Colonial Life. Benefits that help cover what your regular insurance doesn't.
People have the power to make a lasting impact through acts of kindness, compassion, and strength. They inspire us to innovate and educate, to do more than we ever thought possible. To help you be your healthiest you. Prisma Health, inspired by you.
Farm Bureau Insurance is giving you a chance to win 2 tickets to an upcoming home women's basketball game. Visit usccontest.com and register for your chance to win. Everyone that registers will be entered for the chance to win the grand prize, an autographed ball from Coach Don Staley. Register to win at usccontest.com. That's usccontest.com.
Gamecock Insider is brought to you by Prisma Health, the official healthcare provider of the Gamecocks.
And we are back on Gamecock Insider. I'm Derek Scott, coming to you from the Long Family Football Operations Facility. Some new faces wandering around here the last few days as the newest members of the Gamecock football program who have enrolled for the spring semester. Well, they moved in last week. We had our cameras there to follow them around and kind of get an idea of what that day and that experience was like.
Hey guys, how you doing, bud? Good to see you. Yes, sir. Great to meet you.
Shoes, shirts, and shoes. These 3 are shoes, these are shirts.
So honored and appreciative that you guys are here. This football season, for those of you that had football seasons, was unlike any season that we've ever had before. And then for those of you that didn't get a senior season, I'm sorry. The recruiting process is unlike any recruiting process that any of you, myself included, have ever been through. That you didn't have college coaches coming to see you in the springtime. You didn't have college coaches at your games in the fall. You weren't able to come to games in the fall. But the fact that you stayed committed and signed with Carolina, I cannot thank you enough and will forever be grateful for that.
Well, the next step for those young men, of course, getting class underway for the spring semester, figuring out where they need to go on campus and which classes are in person and which are remote. A lot to take in for those young men. We certainly wish them the best. On our Toyota Keys to the Game, we shift the focus a bit to Gamecock men's and women's basketball this week. Of course, both teams in COVID-related shutdowns. So the keys for those young men and women, well, that would be to just keep your eyes on the prize, stay focused, take care of the things you can manage, and stay within your quarantine, and hopefully get back out on the court real soon. And that's brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. That'll do it for this week's edition of Gamecock Insider. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Derek Scott. We'll see you again next week. Thanks for joining us for this broadcast, brought to you as always from Learfield IMG College.